meditative state.
I'm gonna just start.
Yeah, I feel like everything we've been talking about has been gold so far.
I know.
So can we restart?
I know, I was like, we'll chat, we'll get to know each other, but we're already just like talking about such good stuff.
We're vibing.
Hi, we're vibing.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's so fun when you get to meet people where it's like, it's so familiar, it's souls that are getting to reconnect. And I feel that in you. You're a soul sister.
Yes. Yes, soul sisters. Oh, I am like buzzing right now. I'm like,
yeah, same. I need my crystals to ground me right now.
I know, I'm literally just like help. Whoa. Yeah. Sweating.
So please do yourself a favor, everyone. Get some acupuncture. Yes. Your whole life will be changed.
Literally, that's where we are.
Yeah, I was just telling her how grateful I am to be working with my team of healers, and they're all acupuncturists, and getting regular massage. It's just, I'm so grateful, to be on this healing journey, to be offering healing myself and then getting to receive it. And it's never ending. Yes, truly.
Yes. Invest in yourself. I was noting on how I'm getting over this scarcity mindset and how there is abundance all around us at all times. Just literally look outside, look at the abundance of trees, of plants, of nature. And in nature, you find yourself. And in that, you see that you are nature. So therefore, you are so abundant. And and so in that, I've just been like, I'm gonna start investing in myself. I'm gonna do the necessary steps in order to just, like become that closer to that higher version of myself in every aspect. So and there's people, the healers like you that are out here doing that for people, serving as a catalyst for humans to evolve. And that's why we have beautiful healers like you. And invest in yourself. And at the same time, you're also investing in beautiful people.
Yes. It's a beautiful energetic exchange. And you're so right. We truly are all abundance already. I believe in the hermetic truth, as above, so below. And within that, we are all interconnected, and there's just so much beauty to be experienced in this life. And I think of abundance now as just getting to do what I want when I want to, and feeling that internal wealth within. Abundance for me is the fact that I get to have slow mornings where I just drink my tea and look at the mountain and do my yoga and meditation and hang out with my cat and do what I love, study the astrology transits, read some tarot for myself, journal. It's that is richness to me. That is wealth. That is abundance, that connection to the self through these beautiful practices that connect me to spirit.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly it. That is abundance. You're literally saying that. And I'm like, thank goodness. I actually haven't, I've been doing that. And ever since I've been doing that, making sure that I wake up at an hour where I can provide that for myself and give that service of yoga and meditation and journaling and pulling a card. And in that, it has been this path that has led up to this realization that, abundance is those little things. Wow. I just love it so much.
It's so true, but I can relate, I think it's for me a very ancestral imprint of working hard, working hard to be able to have things. I think, my ancestors were farmers and pioneers, especially the women. They would take on so much on their own, and have to be independent in a way. And I find that in myself where I'm like, I look at my patternings where I'm like, wow, I'm working so hard and feeling like I have to be independent. And there's wounding for me around asking for help. But how beautiful when we can put ourselves in a place where we're like, oh, yeah, wait, I actually am interconnected with everything and I can ask for help. And that's been a journey for me on abundance too.
Ah, I'm snapping my fingers so hard. I resonate. We can
Yeah.
ask for help. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I
Yeah.
was on the road for about, I don't know, 2 months or so, just like doing a little trip, and our car ended up like the radiator broke.
Oh,
On the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And I was just like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like in Australia, just up north, like the middle of nowhere out here
whoa.
is middle of nowhere. And so I was just like, in that moment, I was like, ask for help. That's just what came to me from spirit. It was like, ask for help. And there was like a house with a little farm, and I was like, I looked at my partner and I was just like, let's go. I was like, let's go knock on that door and ask for help. And for me, that was such a big thing. And even for him, he had noted, because yeah, we just get so caught up in our own inner world. And just to pull the story together, we walk up and we ask for help. And this guy is just so kind. And he's like, can you pull the car around back? Can it make it to the round back? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, all right. And so we pull the car around back. He has a whole like mechanic little like shed with everything. Turns out he used to race cars. So he used to like fix them up himself. So he's just,
Whoa.
and he was able to fix our car up just so that we could get to our next destination and get to like a proper mechanic that could order the parts and like change out our radiator. Like,
Whoa.
it was insane. Ask for help, man.
How divine. How divine. What an angel.
Literally a real life angel. A real life angel. And then his wife gave us mangoes or something. This is a year ago. But yeah, like she gave us mangoes, and I was just like, thank you guys so much. And I had a bunch of avocados, so I just gave them avocados. I was like, this is how it should be. Our currency should be food. Like,
Yeah. That's such a beautiful story. And I think that the heart of hearts, people want to help. People want to be of support. It's just
yes.
there's so much inner work that I've had to do to put myself in a place where I can ask for that help. So I just experienced car troubles myself. Ugh, Mercury retrograde right now. I'm a Pisces rising. So for me, my Libra is in my 8th house, which is the house literally of death and rebirth. So the day of Mercury retrograde, my car doesn't start. Had to take an Uber, rushed into work, barely made it just in time. And I was doing Reiki that morning too. So I was like, all right, this was truly a lesson for me to stay centered and calm despite my high emotional state so I can still offer healing. But on the way home, my Uber driver, like I was just telling him about my day, and he's like, well, I'll take you to an auto shop so you can buy a battery because it's probably your battery. And then my love put it in for me. And then, yeah, car's fine, just fine.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, just asking for help. It's so crucial.
It is. And I think that we forget. I think that so this is just me processing, but something that just came to my mind was that maybe one of the reasons that we are so afraid of asking for help is that in those moments, we forget that we are one, that we are connected. And so it's a stem from that disconnection that society has kind of tried to imprint onto us. It's like, no, you are all disconnected. You are not connected. And so in realizing that we are connected, there comes that realization that like, oh, wait, hold up. No, like I am you, you are me. Hey, you know something different though. Like, can you help me? I mean, you and me, but just another life, another experience, and you might know something that I need to remember.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. But at the same time, I also deeply, deeply value the feeling of protection and calling
Mm,
on my spirit team for that protection, because I
mm,
know as a soul I've chosen to experience individuality. I've chosen to
yes.
experience the individual soul lessons. And so what
Mm,
I do every time before I do any type of healing work,
mm.
it's a little weird if people are watching me, but I don't care. I like go all the way up to the sky, ask for my support and guidance, bring it all the way down my body, ask for, all of the earth. I have a lot of fairy energy around me, elemental energy, but also cosmic energy. And I just ask for that support and love to just surround me
Mm,
so I can protect my energy so my clients don't have to take on any of my energy,
of
especially when
course.
I'm going through a high emotional time, worrying about my car. And also,
Yeah.
so I don't have to take on any of their energy moving out. But from a higher soul perspective, I can still see that, yes, we all are interconnected and we all are one. But I still love asking for that support from my spirit team.
Yes, yes, yes. Duality. We have to like take both sides, that we are the individual, but we also have to view that other side of that we are one. That is so important, especially in the healing work that you do. And to tangent off of that, actually, like let's just like dive right in. Like as if we haven't
Yeah.
already dove, but but I want to ask you, what led to the planting of the seeds of your passions? How did you, because a shamanic healer, a Reiki practitioner, also an astrologer, a poet, like, how did you, what yes. How did these plants come to these beautiful, beautiful blooming plants come to be?
Oh, it's amazing, right? Oh, I'm just very multifaceted.
Yes,
I got
multidimensional. I love it.
yes, keeping my curiosity high. And I think that actually started at a really young age.
Mm,
So I'm a Pisces rising and I have Saturn in Aquarius right on my ascendant, conjunct Pallas Athene, who is like, she's a multifaceted goddess herself. But because of their energy, like right on my 0 degree Pisces ascendant, I've now associated that with this tremendous pressure I've felt my whole life to understand spirituality. So when
mm.
I was really young, my mom was a Wiccan. She practiced yeah, she was a witch. Like she
Whoa.
practiced like elemental magic. And I remember like some of my earliest memories making fairy houses. But when she was 8, or when I was 8, she had a dream that an angel came to her and she converted to Catholicism at that time. So I
Wow.
spent most of my early childhood in the Catholic and Christian faith. And I remember this pressure of like, I don't feel satisfied here. There's so much mystery here. And I would just press and press. I just felt like I was just pressing up against walls, trying to like really feel into the truth. And eventually that led me to rebelling so hard against my family. I went on my own path and I found yoga, and then I fell into 0 degree Pisces ascendant, into a
Yeah.
strong like fantasy and victimhood place where I was in a really horrible, toxic, abusive
Mm.
relationship. And I needed healing from that place. I kept getting the sign from the universe, like, do massage therapy school. At that time, I was a server at Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, God. I don't even eat meat now or watch sports. So I don't even know how I did that. But I had this customer who always came in and she would talk about her life as a massage therapist. And it
Mm.
was I just knew like this is the path for me. And
Yeah.
I needed that healing to come out of that place and recognizing how much trauma my body was holding. So, massage therapy was truly the catalyst. It opened all of the doors for me because it was then that I really got to heal. And I'm still healing all of the trauma in the body and just learning about the body mind connection and the body soul spirit connection, and that
Yes.
opened the door for Reiki. I remember learning about Reiki in school for massage, and my jaw just like dropped to the floor because I was like, this is magic. This is fucking magic. Like
Yes.
I need to learn
Your
this.
Pisces was like, oh.
Yeah, I was just freaking out in class. Like, okay, it took me a little bit though to get attuned. I didn't get attuned to Reiki until January of 2017, and I graduated from massage in May of 2016. So it
Wow,
took me a
yeah.
little bit to integrate.
Yeah.
Also, at that time, I had a strong fascination with shamanism,
Mm.
and I felt an intense fear around it. And this is the same way how I feel about hypnotism right now. Like I know I'm meant to do past life regression work and guide people into hypnosis states, and I'll be honest, I feel fear around that. I'm
Yeah.
processing and working through that fear. And at that
Mm.
time, I felt the same way towards shamanism. Like, oh, like I know
Wow.
I'm meant to do this. I know this is a path for me, but I felt intense fear around it. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to get a session first. I'm going to just go get a
Beautiful.
shamanic healing session, see what the session is like before I'm like, I'm jumping in to like actually do the work. Right. So
Yes.
I did the session and she was amazing. And then afterwards, she's like, in 2 weeks, I'm teaching a course on shamanic techniques. I was like, all right,
The
I'm
alignment.
there. I'm there. So it was there I learned shamanic journeying, which is so simple. Every single person can do this. You're
Mm.
just lying there with a drum beat and allowing your consciousness to travel. And it's
Mm.
so beautiful, the things that can come through in those shamanic states. And I mean, Reiki also like really opened my eyes to my intuitive gifts. You know, that's
Mm.
when I'm clairsentient and clairvoyant. So those gifts just really started developing. I get strong feelings attached to imagery. So, like when I'm giving
Wow.
Reiki sessions, past lives come through, power animals come through, and then learning the shamanic techniques amplified those gifts, having that connection.
Yes.
And I say I'm a modern day vision singer because vision
Mm.
singer is the Celtic word for a shaman. And really, like all cultures around the world have shamanic practices. And essentially, all it means is you're someone who works with multidimensional levels of consciousness. You go to the lower worlds, to the middle world, to the upper world, commune with spirit guides, see past lives, see power animals. And that's what I'm on the planet doing. So
Wow.
that was that. And then in 2018, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to start my own massage therapy business. Like I want to
Mm.
see what that's like. And I felt the drive to do it. And so I'm looking at a room to rent. It's filled to the ceiling with junk. And I noticed one thing in the room. I'm going to show you because I
Okay.
love him. Thoth here, or Thoth,
Oh,
who is the Egyptian god of the moon, of magic, of mystery, of writing. I've now connected with his female counterpart, Sashat, who is the first primordial goddess, the ancient goddess, who is a goddess of writing. Yeah. And it's so funny because my name is Ty, right?
yeah.
And Sashat, her name means she ties together the realms of the divine to the lower realms. And I'm like,
Girl.
I literally do her work on the planet. So funny. But yeah, so he is a deity. He's also known as like Hermes and the Houthi and African lineage. And he's the first deity that is said to have brought astrology to the planet.
Wow.
So yeah, he was my it's so funny because my landlord, I told her afterwards, I'm like, you initiated me into the world of astrology and you didn't even know it.
Wow.
So a lot of my journey with astrology has been self-studying and doing shamanic practices to connect with the cosmic energies and build relationships with the cosmic forces, because there's so much wisdom that they have. It's amazing. And that's why I love blending astrology with Reiki. I call it Astro Reiki, where I'm doing astrology readings and then I'm invoking the planetary energies to enhance natural gifts and heal planetary alignments and just see what wisdom the planets have specifically for people. It's just, it's divine.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, it sounds divine. It just sounds so cool. Like,
yeah.
like, so in these sessions that you carry out, I'm sorry, where you in these sessions that you carry out, what do they look like? Like, is somebody, are you're holding them online as well as in person? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So what do they look like for our listeners, if any of them are interested? Because I mean, I'm interested. This sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, for Reiki, essentially all we're doing is we're the channel for universal life force energy. The only way Reiki ever works, though, is if the client, if you are willing to accept it, to do your own healing. So I love to empower people in this way because it's the truth. Like, we are all our own healers, and I'm just holding the space for you to accept it, for you to do your own healing. So I always tell people, I'm like, be open to whatever comes through. Memories, colors, sensations, emotions. And it truly amazes me. Like, my favorite is working with intuitive women. I love working with intuitive women like you, because when I'm giving Reiki to these women, what I'm experiencing, they're also experiencing. And they'll tell me afterwards, like, something very similar. And I'm like, whoa, every single time.
Like, oh, okay, yes, I was also there.
Yeah. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly how the sessions go because it's so different what comes up for every single person, depending on what chakras are out of alignment, what karmic themes are coming through, what power animals are coming through. And astrology readings are so different too, because we're all so unique. So yeah.
I love that so much. But you said power animals, and I just want to let's open that up. What does that entail?
Yeah.
What is, because so just to give background, I've heard a few of the podcasts that you've been on, and you always talk about this medicine wheel, and it's so cool, and how your east is an owl, and then I think your west is a rabbit. I don't know. Anyway,
Big blue whale.
I'm gonna hand it over, but tell me all about it, because I love it. I'm always like, how do I know? Where do I find my medicine wheel? Like, when I was first listening to you and absolutely fell in love with you on Your Own Magic, on Raquel's podcast, you were talking about it, and I was just like, I just remember I grabbed my phone, I was like, how do I find out my medicine wheel? I was like, Google, and I was like, this is not giving me anything.
Yeah, and again, it's through shamanic journeying, which is so simple. All you need to do is just lie down, listen to a drum beat, and allow your consciousness to travel. And I think what happens in the beginning, at least for me, especially being in like a conservative town where I was in Minnesota when all of this was happening, I felt an extreme amount of shame sharing these messages, sharing what I was seeing, and I would doubt it. And I think that is the deepest wound when it comes to these things. If you don't trust, then it's going to feel difficult, but it's so simple. And I really want to reiterate that all you need to do is just lie down with the drum beat, allow your consciousness to travel. And you can do this through multiple sessions. You can say, okay, with this journey, we're going into the medicine of the East, the medicine of the air element, of the mental realms. What is the animal that's going to be the most supportive for me in this element, in this direction, and see what comes through? And it's so funny because you'll probably know who your animals are already, because you have animals that show up for you throughout your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, it's so funny. Like, the animal will choose you
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, well, that was easy. Like, you might go into the journey right away and be like, and you might experience it differently than I do. Cause again, I have like strong feelings, and then the clairvoyance where I actually see what the animal is. You might just have it pop in your head. You might just know, or you might like hear a subtle voice tell you what it is, or you might hear the sound of the animal. So to trust those messages as they come through.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you have an idea of who your animals might be.
Okay, so my first one that just dates back to, I feel like, being 16. I realized that I can I can dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah, you give me such dolphin vibes. But you also have like a lioness energy to you too, like a cat goddess.
Leo rising, honey.
Oh yeah.
Nailed it. I love that. Yes. I haven't actually thought about the lion, but I do love the lioness. I love her so much. And then this other one is kind of funny. Pigeons. I love pigeons. But if I dive into the pigeon, I'm like, they were the messengers, you know?
Yes.
So that's really cool. But every time I like tell people that I just love pigeons, they're just like, are you good?
No, I love it. I was actually feeling some kind of bird energy too, but I wasn't sure the bird.
Yes,
so
pigeon. They're
I
so
love that.
funny. They're everywhere. They're like all so different. When I was traveling a few years ago throughout Europe, every single country that I would go to, I'd just be like, oh, this pigeon has cream. Like in Germany, they have cream looking pigeons, and then in Paris, the pigeons are just so fat because, you know, baguettes. Like, they're huge. Everyone's just constantly throwing them bread. So they're so
Oh.
No, but I think they like it, but they could not fly. They were and so yeah, I just love pigeons. But yeah, I can't. I'm not sure, but you know, something that's funny that I've been experiencing a lot recently of is owls. Which I'd seen that, you know, you had. I listened to your episode with, I'm blanking, your owl sister. It was called
the Sacred Woman. Oh,
yes.
You listened to that one.
Yes.
I loved recording that, just nerding out about the owl. It was fun.
So cool. It was so cool. And literally night before last, I was on a walk with a friend, and an owl literally just like swoops like right in front of me, and I was just like, did you see that? Like, we were walking and she was like, what? And I was like, but the owl. it just did that. And then there's been like times where I've been like at a park. There was this time when I was at a park, and an owl literally, and these are all at nighttime, but an owl literally comes, and it stood on top of a pillar and was just looking at my friend and I as we were like moon gazing. And I was just like,
that's amazing.
Well, are we going? Should we talk to him? I was just like, I do feel like I haven't actually dived into it at all, but it is something that like it's very like it flew right in front of me 2 days ago, and it was just like, hello, I'm here. And so I
Yeah.
do feel a little bit of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think 3. Yep. For now. And lion. I'm gonna add lioness because yes, I love that.
Some kind of cat energy for sure. I'm feeling that
Okay.
strong feline, just goddess energy. And I recognize that as something that I have in my energy field where I just attract fellow lioness cat goddesses. I've seen so many cat like guides when I'm giving Reiki sessions, and they all come through so uniquely and differently. And I've learned to accept that as something in my
Yes.
fields where I just
Yes.
attract these fellow lioness
I
feline
love it.
goddesses.
Purr, baby, purr.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that so much. Wow. Oh my gosh. So, question that just popped up into my mind. Do you know where these cats come from? Like speaking cosmically?
I definitely think it's Lyran energy.
True. Okay.
I also work with Sekhmet, who is a lioness Egyptian goddess. So, and she's said to have roots in Lyra.
Wow. So I've only really dived into Lumeria and Pleiadians. So can you give me a little bit of backstory on Lyran?
So I've only know what I've experienced through my own shamanic journeys.
Yes.
And the way that I see the planet, it's like very sandy, and it's almost like a big sand playground. Like I see when I go there to in meditation, I see it's like little holes, little slides, little crevices and corners, like a cat would love, like just playing in this big sand cat house.
Yes.
And when I'm there, I just feel such a strong, compassionate, fierce love. That's the energy I feel. And I felt that through every single cat guide that comes in through Reiki. That's the main energy. It's like compassionate, but fierce love, a strength within it. So that's really all I've been able to gain awareness of. I think when we're meditating and we're working in the cosmic fields, sometimes it's difficult for our human consciousness to like wrap our brains around what we're seeing and experiencing. So it comes through very subtly with just energy feelings for me, and maybe a slight bit of imagery. Like I've seen my like Orion lives where it's more like aquatic energy. But it's very yeah. It's very subtle and sweet. I'm just getting like little glimpses of the energy because it's a lot. It's a lot to comprehend when you're seeing something so just outside of this reality.
Yes, of course. Our little feeble brains are just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We are human.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a lot.
Yeah. It is. It truly is. And that's why I love working with the shamanic practices, because it grounds me back to earth for me to even be able to receive any of this divine cosmic wisdom.
Yes. Oh, wow. I love that. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I really want to ask you for like asteroid goddesses, how did they find you actually? How did you just, because that Girl, when I listened to that episode, I literally directly after that, I was just on the computer reading my chart, finding all of them out. I was writing all up. I was like, Payless, Vesta. I was like, all of them. I was like, let's learn about this right now. I was telling all my friends. I was like, birthdays and birth times, please, from everyone in the group chat. And I was like, here you go. I am blessing you. Learn about your asteroid goddesses.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I can't wait to hear like who you resonate most with. And yeah.
Yes, but tell me.
Okay, I'll answer first though.
Okay, yes.
So again, my journey with astrology has been mostly through just me nerding out with my South Node in Gemini, just like doing all the research, studying. And
Yes.
I found the asteroid goddesses through Astrology for Yourself. I don't have it in here. Astrology for Yourself, written by Demetra George and Douglas Blanche. And Demetra George is the asteroid goddess queen. Gotta give it up for her. I love her so much for all the research that she's done. I'm just so grateful for her doing all of this research because yeah, when I saw the goddesses in the workbook, my heart was wide open. And then I got her book, The Astrology, Psychology, and Mythology of the Asteroid Goddesses, which I highly recommend for everyone because it's a deep dive into like the mythology, the psychological functions behind each of the goddesses. And I think what really expanded me was seeing Pallas Athene in one of her signs she rules. She's at home in Aquarius, right on my 0-degree Pisces ascendant, because I was like, oh my gosh, I am an embodiment of this warrior queen energy, this multifaceted goddess. She is a healing goddess, a warrior goddess, an artistry goddess, an activist, a visionary. Yes. She helps us with our creative intelligence and the way we perceive reality and the way that we can see patterns. And she is an amazing strategist. She's a better war strategist than Mars even is. And so because of this, I was like, this is me. This is me right here. Yes. I'm an embodiment of her. And that's really the reason why I dedicated so much time to working with the goddesses, understanding them, sharing about them. I want to amplify them because it's true. In traditional astrology, we really only have two feminine forces we're working with, the moon and Venus. And so when you add the asteroid goddesses, it balances out the natal chart in a beautiful way. And during the ancient times, these goddesses were seen just as important as Saturn, as Jupiter. Like they were just as important. And somehow with the patriarchy, they were cut out, slowly diminished, slowly put down. And now is the time, I think, to balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy on the planet. And this is one way that we can do it. And I love the goddesses. So Pallas Athene is one of them. Ceres, the mother goddess, she also opened my heart because she is in my first house of Pisces, but she is at 29 degrees. So this is the last degree of Pisces. And if you have any planets at 0 or 29 degrees, like this is critical because it's the starting point and the ending point of the zodiac. And so for me, and it's interesting because she is in a conjunction with my Mercury in Pisces. So I'm meant to really share unconditional love through my voice. Wow, so she's opened my just soul to her giving nature. Like she really holds the key to unconditional love, and how beautiful that I get to experience that for me in my first house and my body and my identity. And then Vesta, she is the high priestess. She holds our sacred flame for how we can feel wholeness within ourselves. And for me, I've been really loving working with Vesta in my 12th house of Aquarius and understanding for me, sexual liberation is about my connection to the unconscious. And even to like mythical qualities of putting myself in a place where it's like all in my imagination, and there's so much liberation that happens from those spaces of 12th house energy of isolation and connection to the spirit world that actually is a form of liberation for me. And I find, oh my goodness, that's my shamanic practices, like that's my routine, because she also rules like rituals and routines. And then lastly, we have Juno, who is the queen of the heavens, and she represents what we're contracted to experience in relationships and power dynamics in relationships. And I love that she's in my 5th house of Cancer, because for me, I saw that and I'm like, okay, of course, like my partner is he's a Cancer sun, so he's very Cancerian. And you know, it is like love, like what I'm contracted to experience is a lot of the emotional connection, the deep emotional connection, but in a fun and creative way. And like that's why we co-host a podcast together. Like we're like creating together in a very emotional storytelling. I love that about Cancer, like the ability to tell stories. Cancer is very underrated as the archetype of like the funny, like comic, like Cancer can tell stories and make you laugh like no one else.
Yeah, literally, they're so funny. Yes. My dad's a Cancer.
Really?
Yeah. The dad jokes are strong.
They're strong, right? Yeah. So the goddesses, working with them and seeing them in my own natal chart just opened my heart, and they add so much richness to like when I'm reading other people's natal charts. So I'm like, how can you ignore this if this goddess is right in your 1st house, right on your ascendant, right on your north node? How can you ignore it? It provides so much context to the whole situation here.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Oh my gosh. Yes. I also really resonate with Payless, but like a lot, but tell me why. Hold on. I have to pull up my chart. I should have looked at it earlier. I literally took notes, but you know, the brain, it does things. Okay, so I've got Juno. Oh, where's Payless? We'll go into Payless first. Oh, yes.
What's your big 3 though? So I have some context.
Oh, yes. So I meant to ask you that at the beginning, but I just love
We're vibing.
I know, so high. So should I make you guess?
Oh my gosh,
I'm joking,
I'm horrible at guessing.
But you already did an amazing job. Leo rising, Aquarius sun, and Sagittarius moon.
Ooh, your fellow Sag moon. Yes. Oh, that's why we're vibing. We get the Sag moon vibes. When you put 2 Sag moons together, it's like, all right, adventure. Let's go. Yes. All the deep philosophical conversations.
Literally. I love it. That makes so much sense. You're a Pisces rising and an Aries sun. Yeah. And a Sag moon. I love that so much. Oh, yes. So I have Payless in Aquarius.
Ooh, yep.
18 degrees. Yep. And then I've got Juno in Libra. And then I've got Vesta in Aries. And then I've got Ceres in Gemini. I forgot to say all the degrees, but yes, that's how we go. Yes. And I loved Payless as well. Like I was just reading Payless, and the fact that she's in her home sign in my 7th house.
Is she close to your sun or conjunct or wide orb conjunction?
I don't know. Well, she is close. It looks very close. How would I know that?
if it's a 10-degree orb,
Oh,
it's
my son is also, well, it would because it's Aquarius. If it's a 10-degree orb, sorry.
if it's a 10-degree orb, it's considered like a wide conjunction.
Okay. Well, my sun is Aquarius 4 degrees. And then it's,
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
it's kind of far away. Yeah.
a little bit. Hey. Yep. Yep. But then, yep. So I just like the fact that she's in her home, and then I resonated so much with Payless. Like I was just like, and I love Athena. I've always at uni, I took a course on Greek mythology, and I was like, Athena is the bitch. She is a bad bitch. I was just like, I love her. And then touching out there like Payless is Athena. I was just like, and she is right there in her home sign, and I was just like, yes.
Oh yeah. And it's so fun because for you it's in your 7th house, which is your house of relationships and what you attract to you. And so for you, like this conversation right now, you're attracting a very much Athena like person. And it's so fun. You probably have this all the time occur where you're connecting with people that are multifaceted and that offer creative expansion.
It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. I truly, truly feel it. I'm always just like, I don't know if this is weird, but like I feel like we really are mirrors right now. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, me too. Like they're talking, I'm like, me too. And then I'm like, 2 seconds later, me too. And I'm like, is this annoying? I'm like,
well, I feel like that's probably like a really beautiful way that you experience life being ruled by your 7th house Aquarius sun, right?
yeah.
Like it probably happens for you all the time where you're reflecting back to other people what they're experiencing. They're reflecting it back to you, but it's in this beautiful, almost metaphysical way. Aquarius to me is very metaphysical. And so if that's your ruling planet in your 7th house, that's the energy you're just pulling to you, attracting.
So cool. So cool. Oh my gosh. I love astrology, and like, I want to know so much more. I'm gonna get that book. You said The Astrology, Psychology, and Mythology by
Demetra George.
George.
So you're a Leo rising, and you said you had Vesta in Leo?
I have Vesta in Aries.
Vesta in Aries.
And Aries is in my 9th house. And then which one was in Leo? No, I don't have.
Oh no, you're Leo rising.
Yes, I'm a Leo rising. Yes.
Leo rising.
Yes. And then Ceres in Gemini. Gemini is my 8th house.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah. I love it. And then what am I missing? Juno in Libra, and Libra is in my 3rd house.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love your series in Gemini, especially the fact that you have a podcast that goes into deep, mystical, occult things, and you hold the space through your language in a motherly way. Like you're on the host of this podcast, holding it, holding the space for the listeners to dive deep into these complex, sometimes taboo subjects, but you hold it in such a nurturing space for people to listen in and dive deep with you. Yeah.
It means the world to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I just want because that is the premise of it. Hey, it's like I don't want to inflict or force anything on anyone. I just want everyone to open up to the universe in the most loving way, and just centering ourselves from the heart. And whether it resonates or not, it's something new that you learned, and it's like, it's up to you. Tend to the seed, water it if you want, and also you can also just let it wither away. It's all, so yeah, I just really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Tylynn. I feel like I don't know how long we're at, but
I know. I'm like, what? An hour has gone by? What?
How did that happen?
This has been so much fun.
It's been so much fun. Why does it have to end? Oh, no. I'm so glad I got to connect with you. Truly. Thank you so much for making this space and holding it so beautifully and just harmoniously, and sharing your wisdom with the listeners and me, and I am just gratitude.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here. You truly warmed my heart with your message. And I was like, yes, 100% yes, because I know that I am meant to share my messages despite how difficult that's been for me internally to figure out. Like I did an episode with Sabrina Monarch on her podcast, Magic of the Spheres. And if you listen to it, my voice is shaking. Like I am so nervous, but I knew, I'm like, I have to continue with this. I have to just share my truth, my messages. And it's such a blessing when the universe is reflecting it back to me through beautiful people like you, asking, hey, do you want to be on a guest on my podcast?
Yes.
So I'm working through those throat chakra issues.
Why do you think I have a podcast?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
Same.
hello.
Having a podcast for me is, truly healed so much of the blockages in my throat chakra. Even if you listen to the first episode of my podcast, you'll hear like my voice is like shaking. Like I'm so nervous.
But look at you now. What beauty, just like tapping into that streamline of consciousness and just being raw and authentic to yourself, and in that being raw and authentic to others. It's just it's to be admired. Truly you are so well spoken and so well versed, and truly, like, girl, you've done some work.
That is such a compliment for a Pisces Mercury. Like, jeez.
I'll shower you with them. I'll shower you anytime, any day. Call me up. I got you.
We are definitely reconnecting. I would love to have you on my podcast and do 100%. A session. And
let's do it. So in the closing, would you I have a closing question for you. What is a love seed that you would like to plant into the listeners' soulscapes?
Just getting this imagery right now of a big green glowing heart. It's almost like a gusher. Like all of this just green gooey love is just pouring out of this glowing green heart. And it feels like love is limitless in this way. We'll never run out of this gush. But how beautiful when we can surrender to those moments of being surrounded by that big, beautiful green heart energy, when we can just lean into it and allow ourselves to be held in that gush of green glowing heart chakra energy. And I feel called to share, Anihata, the heart chakra, in Sanskrit means unstruck, which is a sound that is made without two things having to strike in order to create that sound. Therefore, love is unbroken. It's a sound that can never be broken. It's a sound that is never ending, endless. And this love is available to all of us at any point in time. And right now I feel called actually to like end with a little Reiki. I'm feeling called to just pour that green chakra, green heart chakra, gushing love to every single listener. Just feeling the acceptance in your heart space, opening to this love, to sharing this love with those around you, amplifying love in all areas of your life. I love you so much too. Like I love you so much for holding this space.
I love you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. So juicy. That's
So
juicy.
juicy. That image surprised me. But you know what? You gotta trust your messages, no matter how weird they are.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I choked on my spit. Oh. I loved it so much. It was so beautiful. And I love that you did go to that heart and you saw that heart, because that is the premise, you know, that is what it is. That is exactly the foundation of yes, and juicy gusher. Gusher little. I haven't had gushers in ages.
Me either. Me either. I was like 8, maybe the last time I had a gusher.
Wait, hold up. I think I definitely did the freshman year of uni. I was like, me either. I was like, wait, hold up. I'm lying. Remember in my dorm, I was like, I haven't had these in forever. They're so good. Wow. Oh, Tylynn, we are reconnecting, and we are
for sure
in real life also.
Yes, girl.
It's gonna happen. I'm coming home, which I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Cool.
Yeah, but I grew up also in a little town. It's called Canton. Anyway, a little town that would be kind of like the same vibe as Minnesota, I'm assuming, kind of just very conservative and you know, all those things. So I
lived in go ahead.
No, you lived in where?
Oh, I was gonna say I lived in Effingham, Georgia, which is close to Savannah. That's where I actually graduated high school.
Oh,
yeah.
True. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, East Coasters made it to the West Coast.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, true. Good old Georgia girls.
Oh my goodness. The peaches though. You can't go wrong. Driving to Tybee Island, stopping to get a peach.
Oh, yes. I am actually so thrilled to go back. It's just Australia's been beautiful, and I'll definitely come back here one day. But yeah. It's been
in
2
Stone
years.
Mountain. Oh my gosh. Stone Mountain. Gorgeous place.
So
like
beautiful.
Powerful place.
So in the last 2 years, I've really opened myself up to. Sorry, do you have to go?
You're all good, girl. Okay. I'm having fun.
Okay, weird. I just wanted to respect time, space. When what was I saying?
Something about Stone Mountain.
Oh, Stone Mountain. Oh, right. So I literally, in these Australia, the land here is so potent, and it really it's the solar plexus. Uluru in the middle is the solar plexus and I was I still am like dealing with a lot of like unblocking in the solar plexus, but being here has truly, in that unblocking, I've just been able to like dive into the person that you are speaking to today. And so I didn't have this awareness of the land and the potency and the spirituality that lies within each leaf, and just, oh, everything. And so I am so excited to go back. And the fact that you said Stone Mountain, like, I just think of like the Confederate people on the, and I'm like, that can't be good. Like, but there's cool energy at Stone Mountain.
Yeah. Yes.
Whoa.
I felt it. I mean, when I was there, I was in not high school. I was in my first year of college, and I wasn't really into spirituality as much as I am now. But
Yeah.
even being there at that time, I was like, this land, there is something really special here. And I
Wow.
could feel it. And I honor that. I've always connected to nature though. I mean, probably my upbringing, making fairy houses in the woods.
Yes, I love that so much.
But yeah, Australia though, I do have a friend out there. Her name is LSA, and she's a music artist. So maybe
Oh,
you can go to
cool.
one of her shows one time. She's
Oh,
awesome.
whereabouts is she?
I can't remember where she's at in Australia,
True.
but I think she travels and performs at different places. So
True.
look
Well,
her up. She's
I will.
amazing.
LSA. I'll write it down.
She's a soul sister too.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh, yeah. I am so, wow. I just want to like take a moment to just like appreciate you, and just what has the energy that we have just both put forth, and how just magnetic and just harmonious is the word that keeps coming to me.
Mhm.
It's just, yeah, wow.
I love that, especially for Mercury retrograde in Libra, right? Like the balancing forces,
Yeah,
like being in a state of harmony in relationships.
yeah,
We have the ability to just rest and relax into that and let it be an easy flow,
yes,
which I felt tonight.
for sure. It was. And me, like, prior, I was just like, Blair, don't just dive right in, like, but I was like, I don't. I was like, but we did, and it was beautiful because it was meant to happen. But just trying to work through
Oh
the
yeah,
throat
you do
chakra.
meditations
Oh no.
first, huh?
Oh yes, sometimes. Yes, for
Okay.
the most part, yeah. But like, but I just wanted to. I was just like, just be slow and be present, Blair. Be present, because I get nervous. But this was not out of nerves. This was just pure connection and light that just came through, and it was just like, I do want to know. Earlier, I saw, like, it was when you were talking, like when I asked you the love seed question, I literally saw a blue beam going from my third eye to yours. And I was just like, whoa.
That's cool.
It was like a little glimpse, but like, it was so cool. I was just like, I've never seen that before.
That's how connected we are, right? And the connections span across lifetimes. And that's why you just feel so familiar to me. Like,
yes, you do too.
like
Same.
I love it.
I love it so much. I love you so much.
I love you too.
I'm so glad that we found ourselves. How's Tylynn been? What's she like?
Honestly, I feel so divinely guided and so divinely aligned, truly, like so blessed to be on this path and to be experiencing the opportunities that I get to experience. Like I'm getting ready. My sister's getting married in Sedona coming up. We're going to be there from the 10th to the 17th. And I'm like, wow, I get to be there for her wedding and experience the vortex of Sedona, which I've never been.
That is so cool. Oh my God. Sedona. I'm just like, wow. And to get married there. What
Yeah.
a beautiful union ceremony. Wow.
Yeah.
So potent. That's
So,
so
so many
cool.
beautiful things. And
Mm.
I'm great. I'm blessed.
I'm so glad. Valeria is so happy to hear that.
Learning how to ask for help, ask for support, that energetic
Yes.
exchange.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. Wow.
Well, thank you so much for this time. I'm so grateful to have been a guest on your podcast, and you're coming on my podcast. I'll get
Yes.
you on.
Yes.
We're
Chains
gonna have a fun
possessed.
time.
We on the way.
We're gonna keep it zesty.
Yeah. I love lemons.
I have a lemon right here.
I
Lemon.
love that. I thought you were about to like have an actual. I was just.
When life gives you lemons, right?
That's exactly right. Alrighty, my love. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop this recording.